Thanks for tuning into the Pre-Patch Podcast. Check out these patch notes.
Guys, there's no more arguing. There's no more lawsuits. There's no more and forth. There's no more arguing. Sony can't do anything. All of the chips have fallen. All of the appeals have been done, and it is complete. Activision Blizzard is now officially under Microsoft.
Activision Blizzard King.
Activision Blizzard King is now.
Can't forget the King.
Is officially under Microsoft, and it's dude. I think
it's big, man. It's pretty huge, dude. Because like they're already talking about bringing COD over to Game Pass.
Well, so I think I have it on here. Hold on one sec. No, I don't. But there was a tweet that I think actually Charlie Intel brought out and showed that basically said like what their plan is. Obviously it's TBD, right? But the source is Phil himself, and basically saying, we are bringing these games to Game Pass. Like these games COD will come to Game Pass. It's not going to be. Some people speculated that this COD, MW3 was going to be this year's. But no, that's not the case. It will
were they not doing this year's? Okay.
No, this year's will be. Well, this year won't be this year's. It will be there. It may be there in a couple months. You know what I mean? Like 2024, but it will not be at launch. But I can tell you right now, I guarantee you Diablo goes. I guarantee you World of Warcraft goes. I guarantee you that StarCraft goes. I don't
know, man.
See a world where they can't.
When they I'm interested to see if Diablo does, because when they released Diablo, the game designer, the lead team, I can't remember his fucking name. What's the old guy's name?
Rod Ferguson.
That plays Ferguson. Ferguson was like, yeah, it's not coming. We have no plans of bringing Diablo 4 to Game Pass currently. And that was the marker right there, was like currently, and it's like, well, once Microsoft gets a hold of you have no fucking choice.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm the most happy about with this is with it being official. That's where's the one? Is this I don't know if this talks about it, but no, it doesn't. Let's go back here. Is that one of the very first things that happened, which we all kind of knew was coming, but we thought it was going to take a while. Like we figured that it was going to be, late 2024, early 2025. 2024 January, Bobby Kotick is gone, out, out, be done with it. He is no more. And that's big. I think that this is exactly what we want, right? If Microsoft were to come in and just say status quo, then we lose faith. But if Phil can go in there and clean house and fucking go, we're changing it, right? And this is going to be different. I don't see, like, why would you not bring Diablo 4 to Game Pass? Like Diablo 4 right now is in a rough spot.
Struggling?
Like, it's in a rough spot. I'm excited for season 2, but it's in a rough spot. And I think there's a lot of hopes that season 2 is going to do a lot of things, and I do. And Diablo
it's not.
I mean, I think it will, but I think Diablo 4
that game is not going to be good until like season 5. Let's be real.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, Diablo is anybody that there are people out there that like, oh, Diablo's dead. Diablo's not dead. It's not going to die. Like, you're not going to kill that franchise. It just isn't. But why would you not bring it to Game Pass and immediately go, hey, you know what? Everybody can play it. Fuck it. We're going to immediately that'll immediately bolster numbers for that game in an instant, like in a heartbeat. And again, I don't know why you wouldn't do the same thing with World of Warcraft. Right, like
they need to do that with World of Warcraft. Honestly, like that would be their pride and joy right there, because that would be the first MMO on Game Pass, if I'm not mistaken. Like I don't think there's any other MMOs on Game Pass, is there?
And there's not. And could you imagine too, like there's no reason World of Warcraft can be played on a console easy. Yeah. Can you imagine that World of Warcraft going to Xbox and saying, it basically is now on an Xbox console, like. And it's included in Game Pass. Like, what? Do you know how many more people? Because you now didn't just grab Xbox and Game Pass users. You also just grabbed all of the World of Warcraft people to say, hey, we know you only play World of Warcraft, but if you wanted to try this other stuff, here, it comes with your subscription. You have a subscription to World of Warcraft. Why not you're going to get your subscription to Game Pass.
It's one of those things where, like, I was talking to one of my buddies, Shao, the other day. They were playing. I think they were playing Classic. Him and his girl were playing Classic, and he was like, "Bro, you need to come and play with me." And I'm like, "Dude, I'm I can't do it, man. Like I cannot. As much as I would love to play Classic, I would love to go back and do that. Like, I'm not giving Blizzard any more of my money. You know, I'm just not gonna do it. So if it came to Game Pass, then yeah, they would have. There would be zero reason for me not to. You know, at that point, at least just go back and try it.
Yeah,
because that's the biggest thing that's stopping me is like I'm just like I don't want to pay for the fucking
I
the $15 a month.
I can tell you right now that if it wasn't for me getting a key, right, there are a lot of things. Like my son came and asked me, you know, or we were talking about the acquisition, and I said, oh no, one of my staples was I didn't want to give Blizzard any more money than what I'm already doing with like Diablo and things like that. But I'm like, well, now that Microsoft owns them, I don't mind giving Microsoft money. So sure, I'll buy the copy. I'll go back to a World of Warcraft subscription.
I don't mind wailing for Microsoft. Let's go, baby.
But I don't know. But in any case, here's all of the games, by the way, that now Blizzard owns via this acquisition. So Call of Duty, Crash Bandicoot, Diablo, Gabriel Knight, don't even know what that is. Geometry Wars, love that. Guitar Hero, dude, I hope they bring that fucking shit back. Gun, hope they bring that back.
Guitar Hero would be cool, yeah.
Hearthstone, Heroes of the Storm, I would love for them to bring Heroes of the Storm back. I loved that fucking MOBA and really do something with it. Heavy Gear, Heretic, Interstate 76, King's Quest, Laura Bow Mystery Series, Lost Vikings, Overwatch, Phantasmagoria, Pitfall, Police Quest, Prototype, oh dude, Prototype, Quest for the Glory, Singularity, Ski Resort Tycoon, Skylanders, Soldier of Fortune, Space Quest. Also, by the way, Skylanders, phenomenal game, phenomenal series. I love the whole toy kind of vibe. That was a great game. I don't know if you ever played it, but as a collector,
I never played Skylanders.
It actually is a lot of fun. And the game and the collecting of the toys was really good. Soldier of Fortune, haven't seen one of those in forever. Space Quest, Spyro, StarCraft, SWAT.
Space Quest and Spyro would be huge, dude. Like a huge acquisition for them.
Tenchu, haven't seen one of those in forever.
Haven't seen Tenchu in forever, yeah.
A really
Tony
good
Hawk Pro Skater as well would be fucking amazing, dude.
True Crime, Ultimate Soccer Manager, Warcraft, World of Warcraft, Zork. And then
fucking Zork.
I have no idea. After Activision acquired
1986
the developer,
Infocom. Wow, I haven't heard Infocom in a while.
And
holy shit!
From the King side of things, we have Bubble Saga, Bubble Witch Saga, Hoop This Loop Saga, Candy Crush, a bunch of sagas, a bunch of
fucking mobile games. Yeah,
mobile games. So the big thing here is that there was an interview that Bobby Kotick did with James Corden during an employee meeting where he was basically saying that they were looking at coming to bringing these old games back, right? That there was going to be something coming down the line. I mean, I don't give a shit that Bobby said it, but I actually think because of what Phil said, and we'll show the letter that Phil wrote and sent out the email. Like you can, if you read through that entire thing, it really does. Like he is very passionate about saying like, look, like I want the betterment of the gaming industry and like we need to have diversity. One of the very first things he said is no more exclusivity, right? So, that's huge. A lot of people thought that he was going to come in here and they were going to lock this shit down. And he's saying no, like, and why would you? Why would you lock profit margin away with exclusivity on this? So, but with that, he also said like there's a lot of franchises that are in the archives of Activision that we can open up.
Huge franchises too, like Banjo-Kazooie. I think which one was it? Was it? I always get Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh, you're talking about Crash Bandicoot?
Yeah,
Crash.
I always get those two fucking mixed up. Crash Bandicoot is huge from back in the day, man. If they could revitalize Crash Bandicoot, that would be a pretty big one. That, and like I said, Spyro. Crash Bandicoot and Spyro would be probably two of the bigger IPs that they've got, other than like World of Warcraft, Overwatch, the main staples. So
yeah, I mean it just like why like I would love to see Guitar Hero again.
The Guitar Hero would be great. The only problem that I could see with Guitar Hero though is if they pull, and granted their Activision is out, like they're no longer an Activision, hopefully they work on like the Activision back end and like the decision making skills of the Activision team, but like if they bring it out and have you ever played or looked at the Rocksmith, I think is what it's called from Ubisoft?
Yeah.
Rocksmith is egregious when it comes down to like their DLC content and their song content, dude. Like Rocksmith's content is expensive as fuck.
Yeah. No,
so that would be the only problem that I would have with like a current day a current day Guitar Hero is just like how much money would you be spending for music packs, you know?
Yeah, well, which I mean, as long as they're not overly crazy, I still think that I don't mind them charging for music packs. Beat Saber does
I don't
it.
mind them charging. That's not the problem that I have with it. I just don't want them charging like $40 for a pack of like 15 songs, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's I think that I think a lot of the things that we saw from Activision and Blizzard, I think the cloud is lifted. Well, let's say this. I think there's a crack. There's sun rays shining through the storm, right? It's now, and I have to imagine, man, that if there was one company, one purchase that Phil wants to make his legacy, I think this is it. Like, I think that this is the one where he wants to be like, I want to go, if I'm going to go out, I want to go out knowing that I came in there and fixed this, right? Like I dashed away all of the darkness and brought light to Blizzard. We all missed the days of Blizzard. We all hated Activision. Like,
and with them bringing back I forget his
Chris
name. Metzen, yeah. So with them bringing back Metzen, like that's a step already, like automatically just bringing him back on the team. That's a huge step forward in my books. And I don't know if that has anything to do with like the decision making of Microsoft, or if that was just straight Activision wanting to get back. You know,
dude, it's hard to believe that it's just how coincidental is all of that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know,
it would like if it did come out that was like they wanted that and they pushed it, it would be huge. Like honestly, it would be huge.
Yeah, I mean. And what's crazy too is all of this is happening right before BlizzCon. Like, do you think that we're going to get BlizzCon? I wonder if they're going to use BlizzCon as a point. Like, oh my God, are we going to see Phil Spencer on stage at BlizzCon? Like, is that going to happen?
That would be cool. That would be actually really cool, honestly. Because like, I'm trying to think of who exactly they have in there right now. Who's the president of Blizzard, right? It's an Activision president, isn't it? Didn't they replace the current guy with an Activision president recently?
I'd have to give me a second. I'd have to
Blizzard
look at
president. I'm pretty sure that it's a different one from what's his name? Yeah,
it's Mike Ybarra.
Mike Ybarra, yeah.
And his previous role at what was his previous role?
Ybarra was over.
He was executive vice president and general manager of platform and technology at Blizzard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's where he was. But no, I mean, dude, I would love to see fucking Phil on stage with you know, for BlizzCon. And again, here's a lot of people will say, right? A lot of people are like, oh, why is everybody so Phil this, Phil Spin? I'm sorry, but if you have someone like Jim Ryan and you have someone like Bobby Kotick and you have someone like Tim Sweeney and all of these guys out there.
Wait, right? Hold on a second. Mike Ybarra used to work for Microsoft?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if that was like a plant, man.
Maybe.
Like undercover boss bullshit, bro.
But you have all of these like anti, gaming, just really dickheads of the industry that are just sucking the marketplace dry. And then you have someone like Phil, and I would put in there Reggie, and I would put in Miyamoto, right? Like, and your Final Fantasy 14 guy, Yoshi P, right? Like, these are the pinnacles of people that are legitimately for the betterment of gaming and want gaming to succeed and for the love of what this industry is. Why would you not? Why would we, like, a lot of these comments that I'm seeing, and I don't want to say that they're Sony fanboys. I don't want to say that there are of any type of group. I just don't understand when you have someone like this letter that has come out here, and I encourage you all to read the letter. Maybe we'll have it in patch notes or something like that. You can go and read it. But the love and just overall, regardless whether this, I'm sure some of this was wordsmithed or whatever else, but you can just listen to Phil talk and the passion that man has for the betterment of gaming. Yeah, Miyazaki, like the betterment of gaming. It's like there's no way not to get excited. And why would you want to tear something like that down? Like why? I don't understand it. I don't get the mentality of like we're going to destroy something that's beautiful because we can't be happy, right? Like I don't
the way
get it.
things go, man. Yep.
It's fucking sad. It's very sad. So I don't know.
Well, no, the one thing that I'm really impressed with at least with Phil Spencer is the fact that like I wouldn't really necessarily call him a gamer, right? But like there are instances that in the past where we have seen that he does actually play the games that he whatever you want to call it, he leads over, There, I think like back when like 4 or 5 months ago, there was somebody that was talking about the fact that they ran into somebody that was under his alias that he always uses in video games inside of Fallout 76. Granted, wish he would play a better game than Fallout 76. But at least he's playing the games that he's over. But yeah, they were saying that they ran into him in Fallout 76 and he gave him a bunch of items and shit. He was just like, hey, here, have this, everything like that. So like at least, and that's one thing that I've always really respected about, like, speaking of Yoshi P and Miyazaki, right? Like Yoshi P plays his fucking game. Right? His entire team of developers play that fucking game. They play Final Fantasy. Yoshi P plays that Final Fantasy 14. He's a fucking hardcore raider.
I was gonna say, doesn't he like raid? Isn't that like one of his big thing?
Yeah, he's a raider. He plays that game religiously, and a lot of the developers of 14 play that game religiously as well. So it's like those are the types of companies that like I will continuously simp over. I will continuously support. Simply for the fact that like they're actual gamers, like they're playing the game. They understand what the bullshit that we're going through on a daily basis when it comes down to like bugs. You know, these guys like Bobby Kotick, right?
They give two shits.
I guarantee you that Bobby Kotick has never played a video game in his entire fucking life.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like and so, like there was a so one of my my close friends works with somebody that works over at Unreal, Epic, and they were in QA, and they said that like no lie that Tim Sweeney comes in and it blows my mind that he has like this idea that just disregard for people, but walked in and was like to the QA space and goes, this space could be used for a lot better things. Like, what kind of dick ass piece of shit kind of mentality do you have to walk in and do that? And then, we talked about this last week where like, Epic with the layoffs and things like that. And it didn't really settle in until I was actually listening to another podcast called The Giant Bombcast, another phenomenal podcast as well. But, they were talking about it, and it really did hit me of being like, you know what, Tim, like, you cost people's jobs because of literally going after a fucking vengeance that you had, a personal vendetta that you had against Apple, against Steam, against everything.
Yes, preach it, Queen.
So, like,
they're finally understanding my hatred for fucking Epic, man. Everyone's like, oh, he fucking hates Epic just because it's Epic, man. No, I hate Epic because their fucking CEO's a dickhead. I mean, and every fucking practice that they push and everything that they do is not for the gamer. Like, it's not for the player base. They could give a fuck less about you. You're just numbers. You're just cash symbols in their in Tim Sweeney's little fucking eyes, beady little eyes, bro.
It blew me away. I think what brought it all full circle is hearing that, and then, from like literally somebody that works there's mouth, and then just being like, dude, you really have like complete and utter disregard for the betterment of of not only the industry, but for people, right? And just your own, like, somebody somewhere told you were special, and somebody somewhere said that you needed to be like what you thought mattered. And then that if you didn't like something, well, if Tim Sweeney ain't happy, no one's happy. So give Tim Sweeney his baba and let him get his, like, I don't know. I don't know why it just hit me, but it hit me yesterday on my car ride. I was just like, this motherfucker.
Welcome to enlightenment, Sin. Welcome, brother.
He's just like, I don't want to have to pay taxes on my Google purchases. So fuck you, Google. Like, okay. Like, I don't know, man. I just, like
I said, this is what I've been preaching for years now, and everybody was like, "Oh, he just fucking hates Epic because they're trying to be the man." I'm not saying you, but in general, people have given me shit for hating. Even my own brother has given me shit for hating Epic. But like, this is the reason why right here is because these practices that we're starting to see, like the whole Apple versus Epic, that entire situation came over because Epic and Sweeney said, I don't want to give Apple any more money than I absolutely have to. Why is Apple taking 30% of my profit? Why the fuck would I want to do that? You know, why would I want to pay them? But what they don't ask themselves is, if Apple wasn't there, my reach on the Apple marketplace, there would be no reach on one of the biggest marketplaces in the fucking world.
Yeah.
Right?
And they it's still
Fortnite
not there.
Fortnite would not be as big as they were if they hadn't been on the the fucking Apple Store for mobile. Right? And they'd still be big. I'm not saying that they wouldn't be huge, because they were huge even before moving to mobile, right? They were huge on the PC and everything like that, right? But they would be nowhere near where they were where they are right now without that success that they had on mobile.
And it blows me away that, like, the hearing that, oh, we're hurting for cash, we have to lay off. And
well, they are.
I get it.
I guarantee you they are, and it's because of mismanagement. Yeah,
open it up, dude. It's still not on the fucking Apple and Google Play Store, dude. Take the fucking butt plug out of your ass and just get on the dude. Just open it.
I'm not sure if they can. That's the thing. I don't think that I'm pretty sure that Apple's thing is, like, if you fuck over Apple, you're done, dude. Like, they will ban you for life. So he fucked himself pretty hard with that. Like, I'm not, now don't quote me on that. I'm not entirely sure if they've been banned completely, but I'm pretty sure with like a pretty decent percentage that they can't get back on the Apple marketplace right now.
I don't know, man. What sucks too is that you don't want to. I mean, I don't know if there's only an Epic only game. Like, I don't think there is. Like, there's Epic exclusives, right? Which obviously blows. But I don't, like, it does suck because there are things that you're like, I don't want to hurt this developer for choosing to go to Epic because I want to support the developer. But, like, you don't want to support Epic. Like, I don't want to support. Yeah,
Dauntless is exactly that for me.
Dauntless gave you the big finger, bro.
But that's what I'm saying, though. I would love to continue. So, like, if they hadn't done that, if they hadn't given us the finger and went to Epic, right? Like, I would have fucking simped for. I'd still be playing Dauntless to this day.
Yeah. Chat brings up a really good point. Hurting for cash, take a pay cut from your 7-digit salary. You are fucking high if you think like Miyamoto, was it Miyamoto that did it? I think Miyamoto
Yoshi did it as well.
It's just like, we'll take a pay cut.
During the COVID thing, he took a pay cut to pay for extra servers, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Tim Sweeney's not doing that.
Sweeney is not going to do that.
Sweeney, Timmy Boy ain't doing that, bro. Timmy Boy's got a new pair of shoes and a new fucking yacht he's gonna buy.
So as much as I know, as much as our missing comrade right now, Bill hates consolidation. I will say that if and again, I understand his problem is he's looking into the future too and saying, like, well, okay, Phil's not going to be there forever. Who's going to eventually take over, kind of thing. You're absolutely right. But what I will say is that if the consolidation of Activision Blizzard says, hey, we're getting a fucking toxic piece of shit like Bobby Kotick out of there, great. If that means they're going to go buy Epic and kick fucking Tim Sweeney out, great, right? If we get to go back to the golden days when gaming was for the love of gaming and not this fucking just cash cow, I'm going to milk this shit until the cows come home because you can't do anything, and just have these fucking pieces of shit at the top just going, what are you going to do about it? Kiss my ass, right? And I've been saying it for a long time that gaming is in a very dark spot. And we're now, I feel like we are starting to kind of get into like the light of this again. And it's not because of the Activision or whatever else, but like, I do think that you have people like Phil saying enough's enough. Like, we're done taking this crap, like, you know, because it's just going to tank the industry. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
Congratulations. Big props. Clap it up. I'm happy for you, Microsoft. You've got the deal done. No, a lot of people said it wasn't going to happen. Fucking congrats to you. So
I'm just happy that they were able to prove all the Sony fucking ponies incorrect, and all those Sony ponies I guarantee you that if I went on Twitter and typed in Microsoft, there would just be just everywhere.
Oh, we're gonna get pounded on this episode for sure in the comments. But hey, if you know what, if you don't like what we're saying or disagree, make sure you click that bell, hit subscribe, and put a comment down below, because then you can come back and chat with us live. Well, you know, when we do this, because I did forget to mention in the very beginning, because it was only two of us, and I was like, hey, whatever, fuck it, let's just go. We do host this live typically Thursday. But yeah, you can come join us and come in here and chat. So subscribe, click the bell, come chat with us live, and yell at us in person, because we will be more than happy to disagree with you. At least, especially me and Enigma. We while we're running the show, we'll yell at you.
Thank you for checking out the patch notes. If you enjoyed this small selection from our podcast, come join us every Thursday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for the full unfiltered pre-patch podcast. And check out our past shows on anchor.fm/prepatchpodcast.